So when I first started playing Valorant, I started off at Iron 4 during the beta. During the first season, I got to Immortal by solo queuing, and I didn't get to play the season after that. But last season, I got to Diamond 3, and this season, we are currently at Diamond 2. So I've learned a lot over the course of climbing the ranks in Valorant. And I want to share these things with you guys, that way you all can learn from my mistakes instead of having to go out there and make the mistakes yourselves. So let's get into it with things I learned going from Iron to Immortal. Starting off with a problem that I see a lot of people have that is never really talked about is the amount that you shift walk in game. Shift walking is amazing because you can stay quiet and pretty much walk around the entire map without giving away any info, but it can actually be a detriment to you if you use it too much. I noticed that whenever people are holding down the shift key, they tend to get wonkier aim and movement because they're holding that button down, and it can affect their general muscle memory. And it even happens to me where I feel like my movement and aim is just a little bit off because I'm holding down that shift button. Not only that, but the fact that you're holding down the shift button and walking can actually affect your accuracy if you see somebody. Now, the biggest mistake that people do while shift walking is peeking corners while slow walking, which is something you should almost never do. Anytime you peek a corner, it should be fast, and you should do it while stutter stepping. Stutter stepping is when you take steps and then stop, and then take another step and then stop, trying to get into position. Now, not only does this make it better for you if someone peeks you because you'll be standing still every few frames, but it'll also make it quiet, meaning that you don't have to shift walk. This is a much more efficient way to peek angles, and you should never walk around corners. Now, the next one is a bit controversial because it is something that is pretty much debated all the time in Valorant, and that is which rifle is better. Now, I have always been a Vandal type of person. Okay, I love the Vandal. That is my favorite rifle. I think that getting a one-tap headshot is amazing, and dinking somebody with a Phantom is very frustrating. But at the end of the day, the Phantom is overall a better weapon, and I think until they fix it, everyone has to accept that. Now, many people think that the Vandal is eventually going to get a buff, which would be amazing, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're going to end up nerfing the Phantom in some way. But until then, you should be taking complete control of the Phantom and taking advantage of just how good it can be. The Phantom has good recoil control, much better than the Vandal. It has more bullets and it has a tighter spread. But the one thing that the Phantom does better than the Vandal, which is one of the most amazing things you can use, is it adjusts faster after shooting. So this adjustment means that if you're good at counter strafing, you can pop shots, move to the left, pop shots, move to the right, pop shots, and that makes you almost impossible to hit to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And that is the best thing about the Phantom. That's what makes it so overpowered, to be honest. And the Vandal is only a few milliseconds behind it, but to be honest, you feel it completely whenever you get used to the Phantom. And even though I prefer the Vandal, and whenever my aim is feeling hot, I will choose the Vandal, I've been seeing myself choose the Phantom more and more, and I have been seeing more consistent gameplay and kills with it. Now, moving on to the next tip, and it is something that kind of relates to what I said right now about the Phantom, and that is not fully spraying your gun and learning to tap shoot. If you don't know how to counter strafe, but you learn to counter strafe, I will guarantee you that you will go up one rank. And in order to counter strafe, you have to learn to tap your gun and not fully spray. It is a very hard discipline to learn to counter strafe if you're not used to it, because it is very hard to stop shooting and, not fully commit to your spray, but it is one of the most beneficial things that you can learn when it comes to Valorant. Now, moving on to the next tip, and it's going to seem a bit toxic, but you have to learn to insta-lock the people that you're good at. And I don't mean somebody who thinks they're cracked and they want to play Jet. Like, if you know that you're good at Jet and you know that you can hit shots and make her kit work, then you insta-lock Jet if you want to win, that is. There is an ongoing joke in my stream where whenever I play support, I tend to lose my games. And that's not necessarily always my fault, that's just the way it is, right? And if I play Jet, the odds of me winning go up a lot. And it's not always because of me, but maybe because I do something that other entries don't do that can actually make my team play better. If you are a good smoke player, you want to insta-lock smoke. If you're a good sentinel, like a Cypher, I've seen some nutty ass Cyphers out there. If you're a good Cypher or Killjoy, then make sure that you insta-lock those characters, because you are going to get the most value out of those characters, probably, versus anybody else on your team. Now, and kind of in the same thing, you want to make sure that you master a small pool of agents. Now, I am somebody who likes to play a lot of people, but I noticed that whenever I do that, I'm not as good with other people as I am with Jet or Reyna, for example. So I try my best to learn as many people as I can. But what you should be doing if you do want to rank up is that you want to make sure that you try to learn at least 2 to 3 agents, I'm saying. Maybe 4 if you want to kind of push it. But try to learn agents in different sections also. Like, try to learn one sentinel really well. Try to learn a duelist and maybe even a controller. And I feel like being able to focus on those 3 agents rather than working on like everybody else that you want to play will make it so you know all their ins and outs. And to be honest, you can get really good at an agent, but if you really want to truly master that agent, you're going to have to play them a lot. So I suggest that instead of trying to fail for people, instead of trying to play Cypher because you guys don't have a sentinel or whatever, you guys should really be playing the character that you want to pretty much master. Okay, moving on to the next one is being too stingy with your util. I see a lot of people who play agent with like flashes, for example, say Phoenix, and they won't use their flashes until they try to get into sight. And they justify it to themselves by saying that I'm saving my flashes for when I really need them, right? But think about it. What if you don't use them at all and then you die? You never got to use those flashes. it's better to guarantee that the first 2 times that you go around a corner, there's nobody there, or if there is, they're going to be flash. So you get into those 2 angles completely for free, and everything else is pretty much a toss-up. I think that while saving your util can be smart, maybe like an ultimate or something, using as much util as you can to try to get into a site or defend a site is totally worth it. And I think that you should really be thinking about how to use your util and not be so selfish with it. Now, I don't mean be done with your util and, you know, die trying to like throw random shit out, but I mean like, if you think that someone might be in a corner, if you have, you know, some kind of evidence or theory that somebody could be holding a certain corner, or somebody could be lurking behind you, then it wouldn't hurt to like throw a molly, or, you know, throw a smoke or a flash or something. Like, if you really think that there could be someone there, or you really think that the util can be beneficial, then use it. Okay, there's nothing wrong with using your util. That's what it's for. Now, another thing that kind of adds on to this tip is trying to buy more util whenever you're playing pistol round. I see a lot of people invest in their gun. You know, they'll buy a ghost and maybe like 1 util, right? Or they'll buy like a deagle and not buy any util. I think that pistol round is probably the most important round when it comes to utility, because everybody is so weak and the firepower on both teams are very low. So it's very hard to deal with a lot of things. If you buy more util, say if you play breach, you should not be buying armor and you should not be buying a gun. You should be buying literally all util. If you play Sky, for example, it should be the same thing. Maybe even Sova. You should really try getting off of the ghost as well, because the ghost seems to be what takes up a lot of people's first round money. And while the ghost can be good, it's a lot of RNG too. Like, it, you know, in close range, the classic wins, which is kind of dumb for a $500, you know, pistol that you're buying. But utility is something that you should really focus on buying in the first round. And if you're not doing so, especially if you're playing a support agent, then you should really double think that. So anyways, guys, this has been part 1. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if I missed anything that you might want to include. Leave it in the comments below. And also let me know in the comments if you want me to continue with this. I really enjoy making these type of videos. So if you guys really enjoy watching them, then I would really enjoy making more, I guess. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. Anyways, guys, I hope y'all have a great day, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Also, be sure to go check out the Twitch.